Tax reforms and tighter regulations for landlords have resulted in the growth of professional landlords and a slowdown in the private rented sector, analysis of official data has revealed. Research by Kent Reliance suggests the buytolet market is being driven by larger-scale professional landlords. In a survey of 856 landlords, it found that among those who had bought or sold properties in the past 3 months, landlords with more than 10 properties added 1 property to their portfolio. In contrast, landlords with fewer than 5 properties typically didn't invest in additional houses. In its Buy-to-Let Britain report, the specialist buytolet lender points out that landlords with just one buy-to-let property make up 62% of this sector, so a lack of growth among this cohort will impact on the number of rental properties available. Limited company lending grows to offset mortgage interest costs against tax. More large-scale landlords are holding their properties within a limited company. Kent Reliance's data shows that, in the first 3 quarters of 2017, more than 7 in 10 buy-to-let mortgage applications were via limited companies, up from 45% in 2016, and this is likely to rise over the next 4 years as mortgage interest tax relief gradually is reduced. The growth of the professional landlord is also being driven by the Prudential Regulation Authority's recent intervention in the market. Since the 30th of September 2017, property investors with 4 or more mortgaged properties have had their entire portfolio of properties assessed when remortgaging a buy-to-let or taking out a new buy-to-let mortgage. This means many landlords have had to produce business plans for the first time for their portfolios. The value of the private rented sector in the UK is now almost £1.4 trillion, up by 6.4%, or £82.6 billion, in the past year, with the average rental property going up in value by 4.2%, according to Kent Reliance. Could a holiday let beat buy-to-let? However, the total number of households in rented accommodation is growing more slowly. There are almost 5.6 million households across the UK in the private rented sector, just 2.2% more than a year ago. Tenants put off by rising rents. Researchers report that tenant demand for properties is slowing, with just 5% more landlords saying they saw a rise in tenant demand than those reporting a fall, the lowest balance in more than 5 years. Kent Reliance puts this down to rising rents, with the average monthly rent now £895 across the UK, with a slowdown in London bringing down the national average. Rents are fairly static, with London still lagging. Andy Golding, chief executive of One Savings Bank, which trades under the Kent Reliance and Interbay brands in buy-to-let, says landlords are swallowing the unpleasant cocktail of higher taxation and tighter regulation, and this is undermining the expansion of the private rented sector. A fundamental shift in the landlord's population is now underway, as buy-to-let moves from being a popular pastime for hundreds of thousands of British amateur landlords, to the preserve of committed long-term investors with experience and expertise. Creating a more professional sector is no bad thing, but there is a limit to the amount of change the sector can absorb before we see a damaging reduction in supply. An outcome that would see rents increase for tenants and reduce their ability to save for a deposit for house purchase. See our renting section for more news and advice.